be the force of nature that it was in our last tournament and for most of the league, basically just requires a lot more time than you really can afford to spend.
Yeah, especially with runners like blistering through these seeds, like 130 is like the realm of reality, and you know, runners have been dropping like 125s like candy. You just don't have time to sit there and grind a black belt on Eyes or on Agama or Dragons or what have you to get to the levels that you need to get to level 32.
Now, on the flip side, though, if you do find an early Mazmune, that black belt can come into play if you've been leveling it.
Alright, so we've got Heal 3, Harm 3, Wall, and Expert to start on the white side. And Lit 2 is our sweeper, Stop, Sleep, and Slow 2. So nothing too exciting. Lit 2 will get us through the opening game, except we've only got 41 gold, so we're gonna have to probably punch some imps for money here.
Pretty much, so...
And with Heal 3 locked out to the white mage, only Fuzzymage will have access to it, but xIceblue will have the advantage of double sweepers.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things. The early game, you'll want to see that sweeper spell. You want to see at least a little bit of healing. And you want to see some money. And we've got 2 of those 3 at least. So are you more of a grind on the imps to get the money you need, or grind on the imps to get the experience you need kind of person?
It depends upon how I start a lot of the time. I like having level 2 for sure, just in case. Actually, I'm sorry, so it's slots 2 and 4 that are locked, so Heal 3 and Wall are available, which is actually really good.
Yeah, of those 4 spells, those are the 2 you want.
Yeah, Heal 3 is a big early priority for me. But I'm a fan of, at this point, like, there's a lot of priority spells. If imps are safe, then, you know, you convert your 1 Lightning 2 and a 2 Lightning 2 in your heal spells, and then go blow up Garland.
Which it looks like Ice is going ahead and tackling. Will we see our 3rd Mazmune in the bottom left chest this seed?
I mean, I've seen one of them and it was very exciting, so that's always a good feeling.
Your race and there was another race, I can't remember which it was, also had the Mazmune in the same chest. It was weird. But today it's just money.
Yeah.
Which is still handy.
I mean, we can't argue with money early on. You need to buy a lot of spells and get a lot of materials together. Iron Shield is not very exciting, but, you know, you stick it on your fighter, a little bit more armor.
Yeah, it's probably enough armor to get you through this, like, opening gambit.
Alright, Waves of Lightning 2 coming off of xIceblue's red mages. So this should be pretty quick and straightforward. Garland goes down to 2 bolts to the face. And xIceblue takes a small edge into the first Corneria check.
And the king gives us a cube, the princess gives us a loot, and that means that there is either a bridge or a ship waiting in the dwarf cave.
Right, we're not on a full troll seed at this point in time because we did not see a bridge or ship from the royals, but there's still the opportunity for Vicky the pirate to give us a boat, so we'll see.
I mean, it also is entirely possible that we get a bunch of mandatory items that aren't the canoe or the floater early on.
I mean, we do need a canoe to progress past Vicky, or a ship to progress past him, so he has to have one of those 2 items to continue progression.
Yeah, I suppose. Unless ship is at dwarfs, in which case he could have the TNT.
Or worse, if ship is in Marsh Cave.
You know that you're the real monster, right?
I didn't roll this seed!
Yes, but you're the one who's wishing terrible things.
You know
That's usually my job.
You know what happens when the commentators wish terrible things on the runners, right?
We never get what we want.
Exactly. Bad things never happen. Fuzzymage doing a little bit of stocking up before leaving Corneria to head across to try and find the ship and/or bridge in Dwarf, so he is loaded up for traveling.
White shirt and bridge. Nice.
Well, White Shirt's a great pickup. That allows you to cast, that'll allow you to cast Invis 2 in combat for free. One of those key endgame spells. nice pickup to start this run off for sure.
Yeah, and especially for xIceblue, who may not have access to Invis 2 otherwise, depending on how the spells rolled.
Indeed, you know, a lot of high-level spells will be out of xIceblue's reach, so it'll be good to see.
Yeah, unless all those high-level spells got rolled into good spots, in which case I question if Cyclone was the one who rolled this seed.
That's fair, too.
So it looks like Ice is trying to get this black belt killed, but Fuzzymage is keeping the black belt in a slightly safer position, so we may be seeing a black belt staying alive on Fuzzymage's side.
Yeah, in Fuzzymage's 4th round match, for what it is worth, it was also forced black belt, and Fuzzymage did use the black belt as an item carrier, so had some levels, not, you know, did kill the black belt sometimes, but kept him alive for a while as well. But was using him to wave a white shirt, was using him to soak hits. It worked out pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, well, he made it to 3-1, so he has some clue what he's doing, but we pretty much have synced credits as the two runners proceed to make their way eastward.
A powerful high five on the bridge, to be sure. Fuzzymage is going to save afterwards in case of dying, which is an interesting call, certainly. It uses up a few extra steps. xIceblue is headed due north to make a check on the Cave of Patoya.
And Fuzzymage is going to be right behind him.
No really trolly enemies yet here. Nothing really nasty at this point. Just the usual volleys of melees at this point. Oh, never mind, I'm wrong. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, see, that right there is why I think Fuzzy probably made the right call in going ahead and getting that in save after seeing the credits, because if you do have something like Grey Wolves with Dazzle and Cremate, you might have to see those bridge credits a few times.
However, he does get some Lightning 2 casts off and successfully makes it to Matoya's. Fuzzymage just a few steps behind. House is always a good pickup. Silver Helm is a decent pickup as well, but xIceblue wants neither of them.
Yeah, and Fuzzy has not seen the horrors waiting in the wolf packs, so...
Yeah, if he does get wolf packed on the way, I don't think he goes back to check Matoya's cave, to be honest, but we'll see.
Well, that early house is nice, especially if he wants to set up a Peninsula power grind.
Yeah, or just drop an early run into Volcano. It's nice to be able to reload your spell charges. Only one Grey Wolf in this pack for xIceblue, which I'm sure will make him a very happy camper as he starts throwing lightning at them.
It'll survive the light. Okay, I was about to say it'll survive the lightning and get a cremate off. We both know that.
You're not very good at this commentator's curse thing, are you?
In spite of what other people claim, no.
Oh, there's Invis 2 anyways, and Harm 4. So we've got our defensive spells at 2 on top of the shirt, which is a good find.
So Fuzzymage walks to Provoke with no problem.
Saber, Sleep, Blind, and Bane. So Bane a good spell there, but nothing else really exciting. So our sweepers hopefully will be ensconced in Elfland, otherwise this will be really interesting.
It's one of those things I always do like to see Saber early on in the spell list, just because if no Power Bonk shows itself, you know, and Temple of Fiends is a bonk necessary situation, it's nice to have that option of being able to Saber up my party. There's our canoe from the pirates, so...
There is only one problem with that, though, is that Saber's the self-targeting version.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of those things I fully acknowledge that it is sabering up a red mage, but...
Yeah, and
sometimes you do what you gotta do.
You're hoping that they have, like, a Masamune or, God forbid, a Vorpal. Alright, so Fuzzymage is grabbing up some cabins. xIceblue has grabbed up some cabins, which means it's time to hike to Crescent Lake, most likely. Ventric asking... Go ahead.
I was going to say, question in chat, have we seen the vendor item yet? And I do not believe we have.
Alright, Fuzzymage picking up Harm 4. Picking up Invis 2, while xIceblue leaves Provoke and dumps an encounter on the floor to start, and starts running.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, I don't expect to use Saber, but especially with level 2 not really having enough to necessarily make me want to cut out the Saber, I probably would grab it anyway, just to have that insurance policy if I don't find the power bonk and I need to be able to buff up for a fight.
Yeah, that's true. Grahams get a good ability. They get blind, which is actually one of the abilities you want to see on your enemies. Alright. xIceblue scoops up some fish on the river, while Fuzzymage takes out some undead with a wave of Farm 4, and we're on our way.
Oh, this is... yeah.
Oh, that's fast.
Fuzzy just finds out that the Grey Wolves have cremate, and just resets out of that.
Oh boy. Well, that ends any commentary that we were about to make. We'll probably pop a house here and reset after running away from this fight. Pop a house and reset. Thank you. Alright, drops the encounter and then keeps moving. So he's on the river. xIceblue, you know, uses the good middle of the encounter table to make it to Crescent Lake.
Yeah, Carib's not looking like they have anything too particularly nasty, so
yep.
That's at least good for our river voyages.
Yep, and Lit 2, a great spell to be using on the fish.
Aww.
Well, you know, we're gonna fly.
That just means the dungeons are going to be nightmares incarnate.
Well, we do get the early floater stone, so we are on the Skyways early. We're gonna get an 11-minute flight from xIceblue here, taking off on time from the desert. Cyclone in chat commenting that was vanilla, but corrects himself, which is fine.
Yeah, no sign of the vendor item yet, and I believe we did get a slab from Sarda.
Yep. Armor shop has steel armor for 41k. Weapon shop has...
You kind of cut out there, Demarine, but we know where you were going for.
Yep, so we've got a rub in level 6 white, and a couple of the major black magic sweepers, Fire and Lightning 3 at level 6. And a pro ring in the Titan's Trove.
Not a bad haul all around.
I mean, you want those pro rings as soon as you can get them. They'll keep your party alive through instant death effects, give a little bit of extra armor to one of your mages. A good way to start off.
Or at least instant death effects that are of the death element.
Yes, true. Does not protect from crack, as we've found in the last couple of races.
A-Rub, on the other hand, will, which is a nice thing to keep in the back of your head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Wall at level 1 also, we are pretty well protected from things. There's the big spells. Cure 4, Life 2, and Exit, all at level 5.
Yeah, I can't remember which ones are not accessible to... And there's Warp, so...
Well... And we've got, A-Fire, we've got Life 1 at level 3 in slot 2, so... One person will have access to it. The other will not.
And yeah, there's Temper.
That's what we're looking for. That's the good stuff. No fast yet, though, but there's still the level 4 shops to go.
And as we know, that's more or less our last hope.
Mm-hmm. Fast doubling your attacks on your warrior, which is fantastic. It's not here, though.
Yeah, we do have Zap, which is, you know... Zap is another one of those spells that it's not mandatory by any stretch of the imagination, but it's nice to have.
And Fog 2 is in the White Magic level 4, which is the other big defensive option. But with Invis 2 already on the table at 2, it's hard to see them picking that up also.
Yeah, Fog 2 improving your armor, whereas Invis 2 improves your evasion, and as anyone can tell you, it's better to not be in the way of a punch than to just take it to the face.
Both strategies have their value. Fuzzymage is going to pick up the slab. Cyclone is going to continue bragging about his seed rolling skills in chat as we roll right on.
I mean, let the man have this. xIceblue the first one who's going to make it over to the Cardia Islands and see what the dragons are hoarding.
Cloth armor. Fuzzymage has found more Grey Wolves. I'm sure he's very pleased about that. He's on fire, by the way.
No, and there's some more Grey Wolves.
He's on fire again.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Although he managed to get away.
There was, however, a black shirt in the side boxes here, which is a great find. You can use it for armor on your Black Wizard, which gives you protection from time and ice, but no Black Wizard here, so... but also lets you wave it in combat to cast ice too, which is not a bad thing when you say, we'll need your White Mage or Black Belt to be doing something.
Yeah, Fuzzymage is definitely going to get some early benefit out of finding the tail, having with both of those shirts available pretty much for free.
Yep.
The shirt's also providing the best defense possible for your White Wizard and Black Wizard.
Yep. And Pro Ring number 2 is in the Cardia Isles. Fuzzymage is about to be on fire again, maybe?
I mean, he didn't get on fire this time.
No, never mind. We're wrong. He's on fire now. xIceblue finds a little bit more money in a Silver Bracer here, so a little bit more armor for one of his mages. xIceblue has finished cleaning out the Cardia Isles, and Fuzzymage is in front of the Earth Cave right now.
I mean, it's not a terrible strategy. You know, Fuzzy knows xIceblue is probably not going near the Earth Cave for a good chunk of this race. So if there is anything that down here that would be valuable, you know, he'll have it well in advance.
Well, a lot of people set up to go mode Earth. I mean, he found a Mage Staff to start, which lets you cast Fire 2 in combat, but these Cobras have Slow and Glare, and this is a little bit of a dangerous scene we're in right now. But he gets out alive, so he's in good shape so far.
Bismarck asking in chat what he's missed so far. Not too terribly much. We had to go get the bridge out of the Dwarf Cave to advance. BK had the canoe, the Sage at the circle had the floater, and at this point everyone's just kind of cleaning up and checking stuff.
Yeah, we've got a cube and a loot to start off the run from the Royals, and the slab was with Sarda, so xIceblue is fighting off some Scorps and Bulls here in Volcano, so it looks like going to be going for an Armory dive to start this run off, while Fuzzymage is still checking chests in Earth Cave.
He did finally manage to get deaded, so there's that.
Congratulations, your black belt is dead. Gonna go out and save in celebration. Fuzzymage finds a fat stack of cash over there, 20k total between the two chests.
So you think he continues... Well, he doesn't have the rod, so he really can't, but... You know, I think he was just kind of making a quick dip in here.
Gets his economy going, gets some money, a house, and a mage staff. I mean, it's not ideal. You were looking for something big here. You were looking for a sword, or an adamant, or... you know, your dragon armor, or a ribbon. Fire elementals kill off one of xIceblue's red mages. I'm not sure if he's too unhappy about that at this point, fighting the trap tile.
Well, regardless, he is going to leave.
Yep, probably gonna pop that red mage back up here. So a little bit of time lost on both sides to losses and treasure chest hunts and things, but we're on our way.
Yeah, both players are making plays to kind of get their balls rolling, so...
Fuzzymage may have a slight advantage of that with a little bit more gold. xIceblue is having a time of it. is definitely now having a time of it, has to get away from these Sphinxes and does so. So gonna get back outside, gonna fly back to Crescent and top up. Fuzzy gets his second Pro Ring, gonna get his black shirt in a moment, so he's gonna have 2 sweeper items. And dead remains dead. Oh, well, we're 20 minutes into this run. Not a lot done dungeon-wise here, but what do you think of these checks and plays so far?
It's one of those things. It's a pretty standard approach to things. You have the airship early, you have plenty of chests you can go look in, maybe find something that, you know, gets things rolling. I suspect that probably the first dungeon clears we're going to see are the side dungeons, places like the Waterfall Cave or the Castle of Ordeals. Go ahead and kind of narrow down what your incentive items are and where they are.
Absolutely. xIceblue goes and grabs Warp on both of his red mages, so having that option, it looks like he is stopping at Pop right now.
Well, now that he's knocked that black belt out, this is his opportunity to kind of get some experience rolling on his red mages and his fighter.
Yeah, he is definitely looking for Zomble packs here because he can harm 4 of them and take them down really quickly. His options for killing off himself very quickly.
And xIceblue decides to go somewhere else to level.
Anywhere is better than Lightning 3 Zombles.
That might imply that xIceblue is going to hold off for a little while on Castle of Ordeals.
Yeah, it's another place that you can run into trouble, but he's found some Argoyles here.
Unrunnable Argoyles.
Well, the trolliness is starting to pick up slowly here. We've got problems showing up now on the encounter table. Fuzzymage has decided to probably go try to gain his levels in Castle of Ordeals instead.
These are at least Argoyle Argoyles I've seen.
Yeah, they're just swinging for 12 and things. Like, they weren't even meleeing hard.
Yeah. And since they really only show up on a couple of floors, not really going to be a problem.
So we've got Brack and Sleep kitties. Catmen packing Brack and Sleep. That's pretty brutal.
Well, that's just how Catmen are.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun once they get to Sky as well, where they show up in packs of 5 and 6, so... xIceblue rewarded with the Light Axe from the Armory, so a good weapon for his fighter.
Not a whole lot else except for some cash in the Armory. I guess it's more of a treasury today.
Yeah. Well, sorry I have Blizzard. Just keeps getting better on every turn.
Look, I'm just waiting to find out what's in the ice cave, and oh wow, that's a lot of Brack.
3 statues,
And
2
only
salt
2
potions.
salts.
The math does not work out there. xIceblue has found a pack of Peeves down in the volcano, and they don't seem terribly dangerous. So, other than Poison Touch, gonna start working his way through them, get that sweet, sweet experience, waving that black shirt in the air.
Fuzzymage reaches the Castle of Ordeals.
Down a few levels for sure. xIceblue is at 11 on his knight now, or his fighter now, and 9 on his other 2 red mages.
Well, I mean, that one's pretty much inevitability. You know, running those 3 characters, xIceblue is going to pick up experience a bit faster than Fuzzymage is.
True. Alright, Fuzzymage just waving shirt at the undead.
And putting that mage staff to use.
Absolutely. That fire cast on the undead is real handy. xIceblue catching another pack of Peeves. We're feeling pretty good right now.
And Fuzzymage isn't lagging that far behind. His party's all around level 9.
Yeah, definitely going to get caught up on experience here quickly. It's a good place to get levels in a hurry when you need them, so good start, certainly. Harm 4 comes in handy a lot down in the Castle of Ordeals.
Meanwhile, the man-cats appear to have stun and something else that I didn't quite catch, but it killed the ever-loving crap out of Fuzzymage's fighter.
Well, not a lot of armor yet either, so the absorb is not quite up to snuff at this point. Is Fuzzymage about to get a rude awakening here, thinking, this is an experience pack, this is the good stuff.
Oh yeah, no, he is about to find out the terror of Lit 3. Yep,
Peds are taking chunks out of xIceblue's health total left and right. Harm 4 kills no one, and here we go. And by here we go, I mean, we're all dead.
Yep.
xIceblue picks his way through those Peds, though, pushes his party out to level 12, making good experience as he clears out the backside of Armory Floor as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad play. You know that that Ped packs are a common encounter down here, and you are definitely still in the I need stuff mode.
Yeah, it's a lot of walking for these chests, but it's definitely an understandable call here. And like you said, Peds are where you want to be right now. They hit hard, they're Peds, but otherwise they're full of experience points.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, you know, another pack of those and xIceblue will probably be at a good level for pretty much anything he's going to want to do for the next half hour or so.
Absolutely. xIceblue's one red mage is out of lightning charges at this point, so running thin on options here. Fuzzymage gets ambushed by a single Zombol who decides that encroaching on its territory, bad idea. Also fires off a gaze that doesn't hit the black belt, but man, that's not a good start. Fuzzymage. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, you're all yours.
Okay, I was going to say, Fuzzy is at least going to check a couple more pillars on his way through to figure out where he needs to go to get out of this floor as fast as possible.
Yeah, he's banging his head on this a little bit at this point, with little to show for it until he gets out of the pillar maze.
On the other hand, though, unless Ice, you know, saves this for dead last, he's probably going to run into the same problem. Like, that Lit 3 is not going to get less painful later in the game.
Yeah, but health totals do get higher, like health pools rise, so, you know, you end up with better chances to survive it at least. Nightmares are unrunnable.
Oh, that's going to be... And with Glare! That's going to make Waterfall fun.
Just leave your black belt dead, maybe. xIceblue is going to try and cut his well, not necessarily cut his losses here, I guess, just take his gains and save the game.
Ooh, we have an ice sword here in Castle of Ordeals. That's the name of this dungeon. Unrunnable sorcerers as well.
Let's see if they've got the vanilla flavor. We really don't want them to have the vanilla flavor. Just so everyone is aware about that vanilla flavor, sorcerers in vanilla are the one enemy with Death Touch.
All they want to do is eat your brains. They're not unreasonable. None of them are going to eat your eyes.
Wait, Hangry Canuck says that we already saw Death Touch. Where was Death Touch floating around?
That might have been the one encounter where I was like, well, what killed this fighter that quickly?
Yeah.
But yeah, if someone wants to enlighten us as to who had Death Touch, that would be appreciated.
Alright, xIceblue starts cleaning out lower treasure floor here, on the volcano. Finding some hats.
And... did Fuzzymage actually open the chest?
I really hope so.
Because he got that fight right when he got on the chest square, so... I mean, he'll be able to check it from the side, but...
It's a good habit to check it from the front. Can get to those zombie dragons pretty efficiently here, pushes his party out to level 11. Checks out
Okay, good.
side. Well, never a fan of that. You know, don't make us sweat, folks. But gets a bottle.
Yeah, we worry about our runners. We don't want to see them wind up losing a match because they forgot to check a chest that had a key item in it.
Or forgot a very important part of the game that's very necessary to finish because there's a door.
I mean, that's just hilarious. Because really, what kind of a rube goes and does something like that?
I don't know, maybe one who's at 3-1 in this tournament right now.
You can't see me making a heart-shaped sign with my hands, mostly because I'm not, because I have to hold down my push-to-talk button, but I'm thinking it.
We'll take those. xIceblue continues to delve down into the volcano with his 3-person party. Fuzzymage, with his distinct lack of high-powered spells here, is just trying to work his way through these fights. That's one thing worth noting. What spells have we not seen so far?
We ain't seen Nuke, we ain't seen Fade. We do know where a couple of the third-tier elemental spells are, but other than that, we are running pretty skinny on the black magic. This is definitely a dig the good swords out of somewhere seed.
Yeah, this is gonna be, like, not that these flags have not been protect your fighter like your life depends upon it, because let's be real, it does. But yeah.
Yeah, ironically, this is almost the kind of seed where you might at least entertain the thought for, 2 seconds of, hey, what if I just use a black belt?
And that thought is over, as xIceblue finds the dragon armor in the upper Agama chest here.
Yeah, dragon armor providing protection against fire, ice, and lightning. It's not a ribbon, but it can feel like it when enemies are throwing damaging spells around.
Yep. And also it does provide the highest absorb in the game for a suit of armor as well, so it makes you powerful. But you have to promote first.
I'm pretty sure that was the dragon armor. Chat questioning if that was the dragon armor or the dragon sword, and I'm pretty sure it was the dragon armor.
I'm fairly sure if it was the dragon sword, it would be on the red wizard or the red mage right now.
Yeah, dragon sword, one of those weapons that isn't super helpful, but if you haven't class changed yet, it's better than nothing.
Alright, so Fuzzymage goes and checks the, checking for the vendor item, goes ahead and checks the caravan, finds nothing. xIceblue continuing to grind. There's Quad X at level 7, so not far from vanilla. And Fade at level 7 for the white mage. The dream is dead.
Now, we knew it had to be there. We've seen levels 1 through 6.
Alright, the dream is already dead.
Yeah, Fast also, at best, level 7. And there's a 10k crown here in Gaia. No wonder the kindly king in Northwest Castle is having a hard time getting it back.
Yeah, he can't fly. I mean, he's certainly not an evil magician with the ability to levitate over mountains.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, He's also, fairly old, so, it's probably just a matter of, getting over the mountains on foot would just be too much for him.
Yep. And so xIceblue is continuing his academic grind here on 2 characters, gonna try and get his knight up to snuff in a hurry. Fuzzymage has gone and popped his bottle, and he's going to do something we don't usually see, which is check the level 8 spells here.
He may be just wanting to confirm if Fast is even going to be an option.
Vanilla.
We do confirm Nuke is off the table.
Yeah, level 8 spells don't come into play very often on these flags. They require too many levels to get up and online, and red wizards can't even use them.
Yeah, it's a situation where if you have to care about the level 8 spells, things have already gone so far off the rails that you have other problems.
Fuzzymage realizing he did not translate a slab on his first dip into Melmond, which is gonna happen sometimes. I don't even think he made a dip in here yet. But he's gonna see Cure 4 Life 2 and exit and go, yeah, I'll take some of that.
Yeah, much easier choice for Fuzzymage as to which spells to pick up. You just grab the good ones on the character that can cast them.
And he's gonna look at Warp and Ice 2 and go, yeah, I want those two. Doesn't buy Brack though, which I'm a little shocked by.
I mean, it's one of those things where Fuzzymage gonna Fuzzymage.
Yeah. So xIceblue continues to grind, again, with a spell with, again, a seed where it's really hard to sweep up experience by just blasting through packs of enemies as you travel. Dumping a bunch of levels into your characters is going to be pretty solid. You know, I know that there's a lot of runners in this tournament who have said that grinding is not their jam, it's not a thing they do, it feels like it's out of strategy, but when you don't have the ability to pick up easy experience otherwise, you know, you need those levels. This is a way to get them.
Yeah, it's definitely... It is an interesting play because the one problem that Ice is having is, while he's building up, Fuzzy is gaining experience and is gaining progress. And, you know, getting those levels on that fighter in Red Wizard or Red Mage is going to help, but I mean, the issue is, you're still not necessarily getting through fights faster, you just have more endurance.
Yeah, the endurance matters a lot in Fiends Revisited, admittedly, as Fuzzymage starts his Crown Quest. But also, you know, again, Fuzzymage is not going to have that big, I can start using Lightning 3 and Sky to just grab up, you know, these 1500 experience encounters and get a ton of experience. So it's an interesting call, certainly. As xIceblue is also going to go check the Red Dragon chest while he's down here as well. Looks like he's leaving no stone unturned in his search for a sword.
Yeah. You know, the thing that I would be concerned about, and this might just be because I'm bad, from xIceblue's perspective is, you know, what do you cut out in order to compensate for the time you took to grind?
That's a good point. That's actually a very good question. Heel helm for xIceblue in the chest, by the way. No, it's actually a very good question because grinding has opportunity cost, right? We're here to finish fast. We're not here to, you know, just assure a finish. So we'll see how much this pays off at the end. Sun Sword and a gold bracelet for Fuzzymage, so that's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, the Sun Sword, one of those weapons you don't generally hear too much about when it comes to the end game, but a very strong in-game weapon.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. It's at least going to kind of bridge the gap for you from here to here end game, but you're still not 100% like, I'm super happy to see this in my inventory. It's just, this is a good sword for now.
Yeah, it's one of those things, there are other sword, like, it's very middle of the road. It's got a good hit rate, it's got a good damage, it's got an okay crit rate. So it's one of those things like, you want a better sword, but it's good enough if you have to take it. In fact, I think Fuzzymage run his last race with it. You were gonna say?
So Palin is mentioning that he does not see a dragon armor, but also it wasn't yet Fuzzymage's side anyway because it was in Volcano. Carry breaking out with the Blizzard, but this is where those hit points come into play. Like, Blizzard hitting for 160 is scary when you're at 200. It's an awful lot less scary when your Knight's at like 500 hit points. Stacking up a ton of buffs on that Knight, just trying to assure survivability here. And it's a plan that looks like it's going to work out pretty well. Starting to swing in for 220. Doing some damage.
Fuzzymage opting to put those harm casts in that Sun Sword to use.
While xIceblue, with his, you know, now level 20 Knight, or level 20 Fighter, drops carry, so one orb lit on xIceblue's side. As we're really getting off and going, Fuzzymage is grinding this trap tile.
I mean, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
He knows from the Castle of Ordeals that the mummies are fairly fragile, and don't really have anything too threatening.
And there is the Dragon Armor in XIceBlue's inventory on the dead Black Belt's body right now, so he does have it for later use.
You know what I'm wondering? Do you think that he know? All right, both of his warp spells are level 5 magic. He may be trying to get those level 5 charges to make an ice cave dip.
Yeah, at least having on one red mage is going to be enough to let you go in there safely and get out of there pretty safely.
Yeah, there's also, just thinking about it, he knows that nightmares are unrunnable and have some nastiness to them, and he's still got to go to Waterfall, so anything he can do to shorten the Waterfall trip is also to his advantage.
Right, Fuzzymage doesn't get an awful lot out of the first 2 stops on his world tour of the key locations, but is now headed to Dwarf Cave.
I don't know, he did get a gold bracelet and the Sun Sword out of Elfland, so I'd say that's pretty solid.
That's fair, we'll go with that. You make a good point, certainly.
He does find a Bane Sword here in the, Dwarf Cave.
Another solid find. Bane is a good thing. The lower level red mage takes a bit of a beating from that pack, but XIceblue gets away and continues dipping into Ice Cave, which we should not see for terribly long, to be honest.
I mean, it all depends. I don't recall if Ice picked up any of those teleporting spells, or even if he could.
He was able to buy Warp, so he has Warp on his red mages.
And just a lot of money for Fuzzymage, but a lot of money's not bad.
Yeah, Fuzzymage is swimming in cash at this point, all things considered, but, you know, again, did not find what he was looking for there. No big endgame weapon, no big power find. He's gonna go into Ice before Volcano. Alright, so we've got both runners in Ice Cave right now. What do you think we're gonna find in Ice Cave?
I'm feeling like this is a tail situation. I saw that in the seed this morning, and I think I'm going to see it again here.
Speaking of things which are dangerous in Ice Cave, as always, we've got Cossetresses with Blizzard. Coming in packs of 6.
Oh, joy.
This is some badness. Again,
And Fuzzymage just resetting out.
Again, this is one of those places where having hit points helps. I mean, Blizzard hits hard, though. Like, you can't take more than one of those usually anyways. Yep, 3 charges of Warp on his red mage, so... Oh, good call.
Yeah. It's inconvenient, and it's not something you necessarily want to dig out, so of course it's going to be here in Ice Cave.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
We do also find a Flame Sword, though, so that's going to be nice.
Yeah, it'll give one of his red mages the option to swing away, which will be good, but Harm 4 is going to do a lot of work down here. Fuzzymage with the same call, gonna loop around, gonna cast Warp, gonna pop back up. The things we see...
Go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
Yeah, Fuzzy does have the option of just exiting out. And he is not going to take it.
Alright, interested in getting some experience and grabbing the chest down here again. I guess, you know, with, Sun Sword in hand, I don't think feels that's enough. Sun Sword and no ribbons. He has access to wall on his white mage, but...
Yeah, but that is a setup cost that you don't necessarily want to deal with.
Alright, we've got some Paratouch here coming out, stunning the warrior. Wraith's hitting for 80 on the light armor, so... Fuzzymage does not have a lot of armor yet either on his party, so this is a little tough.
Now he's got a decent amount of heal 3 on to his advantage.
XIceblue also finds an Aegis shield down here, so that's a fantastical find. So that does assemble the armor on his knight.
Yeah, Pro Ring, Aegis Shield, and Dragon Armor. That protects you from everything but 3 elements.
Yeah, and Chaos is not going to zap your knight anyway, it'll never happen.
Yeah, he's definitely never going to pull out Crack. I mean, come on.
Palin BM, Palin, we do understand that, yeah, it happens. Like, we miss these calls all the time on the commentary side, too, so, you know, don't worry about it. Like, that's kind of a thing that happens. Alright, so Fuzzy's gonna get his Aegis Shield in a moment, while xIceblue is going to check these last 3 chests, and then walk back out. And other than birds, Ice Cave, completely tame.
Yeah, and fortunately, I think the cockatrices really only show up on, like, what, the first 2 floors?
Yep. It'll be fun in Earth Cave, certainly, but that's for later. Fuzzy made the same strat. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ice is immediately going to go turn in that tail.
Yeah, not a lot of levels left to gain on the night, so maybe only like 1 or 2 at most waves of white magic from the night, but you take what you can get when you can get it.
I mean, the low-level white magic didn't really have too terribly much, if I recall.
I mean, the important part, though, is that is a Opal Helmet, Dragon Armor, Aegis Shield, Pro-Ringed Knight.
What we also like to refer to as a freaking tank.
Yeah, welcome to can stand in front of Kraken and get punched and feel mostly okay about his life.
Alright, I was mistaken. There are cockatrices on this floor.
Yeah, you don't usually see them, though, but xIceblue has some statues working right now. 2 of them, in fact. Cyclone mentioning, I never understand why a rat's tail proves courage. I mean, is this a play at being scared of mice? Dragons are weird. We'll go with that.
Also, they don't specify how big the rat that the tail was taken from is. It could be a rat of unusual size.
Have you seen them? They're just, like, ginormous. I mean, Wall and Heal 3 on your Knight, by the way, are pretty good spells. Wall being great for helping your team set up in combat for the later bosses.
Yeah, especially with the poverty of ribbons we've seen so far. Now, Ice does have the option at this point of making that Mirage Tower dive, if he so chooses. He's got the levels, he's got the motivation. He is, however, going to instead head for Ordeals, and with the gear he's got, that's not a bad play.
No, his Knight's going to stand up through those Lightning 3 charges now, which is going to be pretty fantastic, so we'll see how that ends up going. Fuzzymage is going to grab those level 6 spells just to have them. Not going to get a ton of cast of them, his party's at level 12 right now. So down on levels to be sure.
Yeah, but he also has that tail in hand, so...
But he's going to do the thing I think we, definitely would have expected, which is going to do Volcano first.
Yeah, and he's going to find the Dragon Armor down here, so he is going to almost certainly go class change after this.
Yeah. Also has a good chance of finding an Agama grind that is fairly friendly, and we'll see if he takes that option.
He has kept his black belt upright, so Fuzzy may be contemplating just going for the black belt strategy.
Yeah, that's going to require a ton of grinding, so...
It is, but anyone who's kept up with this tournament is aware that Fuzzymage doesn't care what the meta is. Fuzzymage does what Fuzzymage does.
Fuzzymage cares about one thing and one thing only. Memes.
I've maintained from from almost the start that the only thing that powers Fuzzymage in this tournament is his memes.
The only thing that powers Fuzzymage is throwing powerful swords to the ground.
Point being, if Fuzzymage sets up the black belt grind, that will be one of the least surprising things I ever see.
Yes, for everyone who's aware, Fuzzymage was the first person in this tournament to grab a Vorpal sword, look at it, and throw it to the ground. Ooh, glare on nightmares. Goodbye, Red Wizard.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, is you have unrunnable nightmares that can glare, and we're going to see them again in Waterfall Cave.
Unrunnable actual nightmares.
And I'm not even sure what we're looking at in terms of their evasion, although they seem to go down pretty quick.
Yeah, well, they're weak to ice, so black shirt uses will put them in their place fairly swiftly, which is always good. Fuzzymage is going to be pondering grabbing the rest of these chests down here as well. Runs from a fire elemental. Has decided he's had enough and is going to step back and I think just move deeper now.
Actually, he might miss the dragon armor now that I think about it. That was in that top Vorpal, or that top Agama chest.
I don't think that's a miss chest for Fuzzymage at this point. I think that's a pickup for sure, but he might surprise me here.
I mean, that top chest is one of the chests that people tend to skip in Volcano.
Yeah, but he's also not in like hard go mode right now. He hasn't found his endgame sword yet. He hasn't found a lot of stuff that he would want. Plus, if he's grinding Agama, he's definitely going to pop that chest.
Yeah, if he goes for the Agama grind. But Fuzzymage has taken the Sun Sword to the end game before.
True. I mean, he's also thrown the Mazamune on the floor in front of Chaos and went, I don't need this thing, which...
Yeah, and then used the Sun Sword to win the fight, so... It's one of those things, Fuzzy is not a stranger to using the Sun Sword in the end game.
He's also not a stranger to bad decisions, clearly.
Like I said, the man is fueled by his memes.
I could never throw away the Mazamune. It couldn't happen.
Well, yes, what would your white mage hold at that point?
Thor's hammer?
A fair point.
I only had the white mage Mazamune in that one round, thank you very much. I was only in round 1.
Well, yes, you just pull for it to happen every time.
Well, yeah, I was pulling for the fact that the one match I called with Silverfire, they almost went for the Black Mage Mazamune, which is even rarer and more amazing.
Well, didn't they just, like, pass it around to everyone?
They really did. I think everybody got a chance to use it that run.
Alright, Fuzzy is picking up that dragon armor.
I'm not surprised at all. Alright, xIceblue still looking for that crown. Hasn't quite found it yet.
Yeah. On rack is the last place you ever check for that merchant item because it's on rack. That place is a hole.
I mean, the big thing is it wasn't even in on rack, it was in Gaia.
It was, wasn't it?
It was, and he didn't pick it up yet, so he'll have to go back. Actually, it doesn't look like he's gone yet. I don't think he's popped his bottle at this point.
Yeah, he just now found the bottle, so...
Yeah, so he'll realize it's there once he checks the shop and sees a whole lot of 0. Alright, Fuzzymage is gonna go down to the Agama chest. Did not set up a grind on Agama, so still pretty low level, but is gonna find the heal bucket down here. Wait, is Fuzzymage gonna Red Dragon grind, maybe?
We'll find out here shortly.
This is a thing that he's done before.
Yeah, it's one of those things, with the levels already under his belt that he's got, it may be a consideration, just because, you know, he can go ahead and get that XP up faster.
Yeah.
Nope. And he is just heading out, so no grind for Fuzzy yet.
Staying fairly low level without the big spells to really push us through. xIceblue finding a Frost Gator on the river. xIceblue, I know, likes Frost Gators. Like, that's a Frost Gator Red Creep fight that's worth 1,200 experience points. It goes fairly quickly, even without really high-powered spells behind your net spellcasters.
And I believe by process of elimination, we are going to be stealing a lever from this robot.
Oh. Is it like his left leg or something?
I mean, I'm not sure what part of the robot it is, but we desperately need it to go after Lich.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just as an update for everybody, I see Mr. Versetti13, one of the newest members of the community, popping in here. So we're 54 minutes into this run right now. xIceblue is trying to get away from these Glare Nightmares before they ruin his day. But they ruined his day. But we started off with the cube and the loot from the Royals, which required a trip over to the Dwarf Cave to go get the bridge. Also had the white shirt for us, so great endgame casting item for Indus too. Vicky the Pirate had the canoe to continue our progress. Crescent Lake had floater. xIceblue was in the air at about 11 minutes. Sarda had the slab. Castle of Ordeals had the bottle. Gaia had the crown for sale for a pittance at 11k, not even. And Ice Cave had the tail, and the rod is here, going to be with the robot. xIceblue is making a dive in the waterfall right now, while Fuzzymage drops carry with swords and sorcery and bails on out.
Excellent recap. So yeah, we're at a point. I'd say the runners are pretty much evened up at this point. Maybe with XIceblue with a slight advantage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the big thing for XIceblue is that levels are going to let him speed through a lot of stuff that Fuzzymage is going to have to kind of work for to get the experience points. Already with the Knight at 20, or 21 now, I think it's on spell charges, the Knight's in a fantastic position overall.
Yeah. The only advantage I'd say that Fuzzymage has is he does have that fourth party member to absorb attacks. And to do things. Mostly to take attacks, but it is one of those things, like, if something does happen to that knight, XIceblue is in a bit more of a precarious situation.
Yeah. And even just having the black belt around to, like, wave shirts and things, it's not the worst. It's not ideal, but it's not the worst.
Ice does at least find the money stick here in the waterfall.
Yep, and the go dive earth stick as well. So he has all of his incentive positions taken out, so he's got 3 dungeons to go.
Fuzzy heading toward the chime. I do believe he did get his slab translated, so we will not be seeing any Lupa today, but if we do, make sure to clip that.
Please don't clip the runner's failures. Alright, clip the runner's failures.
Yeah, no, you clip the runner's failures, especially when it's a Lupa.
Is there
make a compilation of that?
Is there a clip of my failure?
There might be.
Ha. Fuzzymage, though. Team Stake. Go Team Stake.
Team coin flip for life, baby.
Mr. Versetti, knowing that he notes that he knows everybody, just as a note, Mr. Versetti, I'm the lady commentator. Alright, so XIceblue goes and buys 10 crowns.
I mean, you might as well. What else are you going to spend that money on? Potions?
Spells? Yeah, no, those have sucked too.
Yeah, all the spells you'd want to buy are all in places you don't want them.
I mean, though mentioning Cyclone mentions clipping failures, if we were to clip failures, we just need all of my broadcasts.
Oh, look at me. I'm Demarine. I'm 3-1, but I'm so terrible.
Well, at least a commentary.
Oh, please. You taught me everything I know.
Well, I made a mistake.
Fuzzy confirming. Fast is the level 8 black magic spell here in Lefane.
And buys it for 9k. I split punched. Split punched another runner who is a fantastic runner at 3-1. Has shown me the ropes, has shown me the way in terms of playing this game. We should definitely take his advice on anything Final Fantasy Randomizer related. And we're gonna have it out tomorrow. Speed Gaming Network, 3 p.m. Alright, XIceblue finishes up getting his chime, so both of our runners have the Fire Orb lit, both of our runners have the chime, both of our runners have the Oxial. Fuzzymage is currently down just the waterfall at this point.
But the Zombles are still a pain in the neck.
Yeah, Lightning 3 is still Lightning 3, no matter how you slice it. And Split Punch mentions, wait a minute, does that mean indirectly I taught everything Woke knows? Yes. We'll go
Thank
with
you,
that.
Split Senpai.
Fuzzymage finds another piece of steak on the way to the tower, Mirage Tower, while XIceblue is going to start cracking chests on floor 1.
You know, I forgot that nightmares also turn up in the Mirage Tower.
Yep. Steak just killed the black belt, by the way.
Steak gonna steak.
Alright, gonna burn some spell charges. Probably pop a house here. No, just a cabin.
Yeah, these bad men are being very bad.
Well, you don't have a big... Again, you don't have, like, Nuke or Fade to deal with their decently high hit points, and you don't have a big sword yet. You don't have your Masamune Excal yet to take them out quickly, so... It's gonna take a bunch of time. This Fuzzymage notes the same thing is happening there. Dealing with those Glare Nightmares and just trying to Sun Sword his way through his problems. Again, all that separates these runners right now is a little bit of leveling on XIceblue's side, and the fact that XIceblue's is up Waterfall Cave.
Yeah, the advantage, though, at least for Fuzzymage, is he's only going to need to make one trip to the on-rack area.
Yeah, and if XIceblue's does the Crown Quest after this, because he hasn't found anything yet, might make up that time pretty swiftly.
Yeah, I actually completely forgot that Fuzzymage has already cleaned up his crown chain.
Yeah, he also opened up every treasure chest in everywhere except for Keylocked Marsh and Keylocked Topher, so...
Yeah, and Topher's going to be that Hail Mary if he doesn't find anything better than the Sun Sword by the time he gets to the endgame.
Yep. Alright, XIceblue has to take a wipe here. Did he die to nightmares, look like?
I would assume so. Those nightmares are nasty. And he doesn't have that black belt to eat a glare for him.
Nope. I'm gonna find the Catmen have Brack too, again, so... We're gonna have some statues working on his side of the screen. Fuzzymage
and
gonna...
sleep. They also have sleep.
Ah, that's pleasant. Fuzzymage is gonna try and take out some vampires with Zap. And gets 3 of them.
I mean, everything that lives is born to die. Something, 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 I am the vampire.
And then he dies. He just goes away. Vampires have something that turns people to stone, looks like Stone Touch.
That might have been Stone Touch.
Fuzzymage packing a ton of softs right now. 14 is a bunch.
I mean, you recall very earlier on when he found out about the Brack Catman that he just kind of very politely, he only had 2 softs, so that makes sense.
Yeah. There's some things that are dangerous down here, certainly. Brack targeting the knight is what you want, though, because the Aegis Shield will stop you from turning into a rock.
But we do find our power bonk in the greater than less than room, so Sun Sword is viable, and there's an opal bracelet as well.
Yep. So, as we mentioned, that Saber's a self-cast spell. It gives you a ton of attack power, but it's also tied into the power gauntlet, so you can use that for, you know, infinite power.
That is an interesting move on XIceblue's part, opting to take the Pro Ring off his fighter to keep the Opal Helmet.
Yeah, the Opal Helmet's more absorbed for the less protection against the Death Elemental, so it's an interesting choice. Fuzzymage is also going to get rewarded with a Power Gauntlet as well, so both runners have the Power Bonk in their possessions now. It looks like Fuzzymage is going to send it on over to his knight as well and slap it on.
Fuzzy has less pro rings. Where? I'm trying to remember where Ice dug all those pro rings out of.
Bought them in Gaia.
Alright, so he just bought them.
Alright. So we've got stone statues on Fuzzy's side and dead vampires on xIceblue side as we try to make our way out of the statuary tower. As xIceblue makes it to 3rd floor, Fuzzymage gets, this is the good part of the encounter table, finds his way to floor 3. They're both on the same Cerberus encounter, it looks like, as well, so again, not much separating these runners here in Mirage. Alright, looks like the other match is wrapped up, and so we've got some people carrying over from the Minochi 85 and Fuchsia Fantasy match, the 4-0 match for this round, to exceptionally good runners. I'm sure that was an exceptional match.
Yeah, this has been a pretty good matchup so far, y'all.
Absolutely. These two runners, again, all that's separating them right now is that Fuzzymage has finished up the Crown Quest and did a lot of chest checks, while xIceblue decided to grind Agamas and has finished up Waterfall. But again, just to recap for everybody as they filter in, so we're going to do quick back-to-back recaps. The Royals, Cube, and the Loot. So Dwarf Cave stop off to give us the bridge and a white shirt to get us started. TNT here in Sky. Canoe was with Vicky. Floater for a pretty standard start in Crescent Lake. Slab was on Sarda. Ordeals had the bottle. Gaia was selling the crown for a pittance of about 11k. Ice had the tail, so Ice Cave had the tail, and Waterfall Cave had the rod. Nightmares still have glare, but they decide to melee away, which is great. And so this race is not much separating these two runners right now, as they're still on the hunt for ribbons and endgame swords.
Pretty much. And that is a pack of Poogle's least favorite enemies right there.
As the sole leading member of the Wizard Vampire fan club, they're great. They ambush you, they hit like trucks. Even if they don't have nasty spell lists, that is a crit for 269 damage on the Red Wizard. Absolutely just manhandling xIceblue's party. Can't hold ribbon. I'll find a way, I promise.
Oh yeah, that can't hold message, I just read that as a challenge. Ribbon and Mosmune in these two chests, that is amazing.
Well, it's party time now, everybody. I know xIceblue is about 99% in go mode at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if Fuzzymage, who puts that ribbon on the white mage, decides the same. No, xIceblue is still checking chests. Hits warp and is going north. Fuzzymage is in the same boat, too.
Yeah, but in a friendlier part of the encounter table.
Alright, well, best sword in the game, hands down, in the hands of both of our runners making sky checks. It's gonna probably... Oh my!
Wow! Hello. Okay, now we are in go mode.
We're being noted that in the Mono Fuchsia match, the Masa Ribbon room was on the same floor as well. But amazing. Absolutely amazing. Double ribbons Masa-mune.
Yeah, Ventric already calling for a war making counter on the Bridge of Destiny, so, you know what, why don't we go ahead and get those blessed RNGs in chat early?
Yeah, we're gonna have to make it happen here. You know, the commentator's curse has not been strong tonight, so we need to really bring it out.
I'm not sure what happened either.
But Fuzzymage is now pulling ahead a little bit as xIceblue continues. Just check passages here, while xIceblue is going to find... These are the chests with nothing up here. Alright, and Fuzzymage just trying to tear through these with item usage and sword swings from the Mausoleum to take out the Mud Golems one at a time.
I mean, it's what you do to mud golems. Let's be realistic here.
And it's time. Bridge of Destiny.
Yeah. Question, chat. Did he grab the Mozamune? I'm pretty sure I've seen his fighter swinging the Mozamune, so...
Fuzzy currently does have the cube, but does not have the rod. Rod was in Waterfall, and he has not been there yet.
Yeah, I fully expect that we're going to see him grab the rod on his way to Sea Shrine.
Yeah, good piece of routing, certainly. Alright. The crowd wants blood.
Yeah. I mean, technically it's not that bloody, just kind of irradiated.
It's warm. Warm like nuclear winter. I mean, if by war mech we mean everybody runs from Red Hydra's 6 of... Oh, hey! Hi, friend!
xIceblue thinking about it.
xIceblue
no. Going for it.
He is in. It looks like he's in. The one thing about this is it's a ton of experience points, for one thing.
Yeah. The other thing, too, though, is Warmech is a great scouting fight for the Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, his pool of abilities is shared with the 4 Fiends and Chaos, so you can see some stuff that's going to be out of play, like a Lit 2 and a Slow 2. Fuzzymage runs right onto Tiamat, though, and is going to Plan A, which is... Oh, there's a nuke coming out. Oof. That is information, certainly. It destroys Warmech. Knight, level 24. Red Wizard, 24. Fuzzymage, a pile of buffs on his Knight, is going to make very short work of Tiamat with this Mozamune, I'm sure. Just stacking the tempers.
And Fuzzymage does still have that thin chance of encountering a Warmech.
Yeah. Ventric notes that if xIceblue didn't grind, that's not a viable play, and that's a good call. But yeah, Nuke, Slow 2, and Lightning 2 out of the pool for the Fiends. Seeing one of the 2 nukes is a big deal, certainly.
Yeah, and that Slow 2 is also something you don't want to bump into in TOFR.
Yeah, I've seen it stop runs on Chaos where if you don't have fast casts. Fuzzymage 410, buffed up Mozamune, great find, cuts down Tiamat. On xIceblue's side, looking like he's happy with the buffs. He's got one volley of tempers and a power bomb, and is just smashing away. 5 hits for 483. He's hit the level 24 breakpoint. It's time for a lot of pain.
Yeah, xIceblue definitely has the ability to take out encounters a lot faster than Fuzzymage at this point.
Yeah, both 2 orb dungeons in, both 2 ribbons, both Mozamune Power Gauntlet White Shirt. Again, Fuzzymage currently down Waterfall Cave and is probably going to lose a little bit more time because I doubt that xIceblue is very interested in grabbing any more chests at this point. Grabbing Invis on his Knight as well, so a little bit of extra insurance.
Fuzzy forgetting that the Knight cannot learn level 4 magic.
That happens in the heat of the moment, certainly.
Oh, yeah. But regardless, Fuzzy is, it looks like, making his... Okay, I've got to admit, I'm not... Okay, he's going to go grab some level 2 spells and provoke it here.
Yeah, I believe this was Invis 2, as my list shows, Invis 2 and Harm 4. One being very interesting, one being kind of meh, but... Got the money. You're already here. Grey Shark said mute. I mean, we could do worse. Mozamune,
yeah.
Of course.
It's better to have him and not need him than to get into a situation where you need to somehow harm for something.
Or like when I practice and I miss buying Cure 4 on my Knight and I start just saying words. Right, grabbing Wall on his Knight, grabbing Heal 3 on his Knight, so he's also packed up with spells. xIceblue, I know, already made this check. And it looks like he is now flying due north.
Alright, so now we're going to on-rack.
Yep. And xIceblue is go-moding like crazy here in Sea Shrine. Has he run into our favorite encounter of many lobsters yet?
Not even checking the greed chests. xIceblue is on a beeline for the end at this point.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in go mode, like, every step counts. You're in go mode. Paratouch coming out on the Sea Troll side. Will Cleos is asking did Fuzzy hit the Keylock chests already? Yes, everything except for Keylock Topher and Keylock Marsh, but he did a full sweep. Didn't find a lot for his troubles other than a Sun Sword, really. It's lobster time. The Run Ruiner, Destroyer of Worlds, triple swings. I mean, if they're just meleeing, though, your knight will just stand there and go, I got this.
Yeah, but lobsters keep getting things that are worse than melee.
These lobsters seem pretty, not lobstery, I want to say.
Yeah, no, they definitely do.
Like the single water encounter? That's a great encounter to find. Never mind that. It's an easy run. xIceblue skipping Sharknado room as well.
No, he popped into Sharknado room, he just didn't hit the trap tile.
Okay, yeah, so he did the short check. Okay. That's only a couple of steps, so. Okay, using heal 3 to save time, get team pop back up. Last run to Kraken, while Fuzzymage is going to try and get through one more pack of nightmares before getting to the spike tile for Waterfall.
So at this point, xIceblue probably has a few minutes of lead time, because he's not going to go check those Keylock chests, and collecting the Mystic Key is not going to take him very long.
Yeah, even with that big grind, Wizard Staff was also in Waterfall, not that that's a great find at this point, but even with the heavy grinding that he did early on, xIceblue's on a good pace here, certainly. Alright.
It's one of those things, it looks like we've got a pretty friendly table as far as unrunnables go, so that's definitely helping xIceblue.
Yeah, and with one nuke off the table as well, one thing that could smash through Fuzzymage's party, because he's a little bit lower on levels, is off the table. But Fuzzymage doesn't quite know that. Alright, and we've got make your knight as burly as possible strategies here. 5 hits, 5 hits for 703 damage. Kraken falls over. Got really confused, I guess. There was no white mage to hit, didn't know what to do, so just died.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Kraken 1, definitely a problem. I'm guessing your stream also just froze up a little bit?
I just had to refresh it. But yeah, so Fuzzymage doing a quick magic shop check and is now going to dip into Sea Shrine. xIceblue has only Earth left at this point.
But is going to make sure to try and land in Melman Harbor first.
Yep, gonna buy Cure 4 for his party. You know, can't get Life 2, but we'll take the second best healing spell in the game without a doubt. He's definitely in full bore go mode here as well, as he's ripping down to the bottom of the Sea Shrine right now. And xIceblue sets up shop in front of Earth Cave, and here we go. Greed chests only had gold anyways, so...
Well, at this point, there's not a whole lot that they could have that would make a big difference here.
Yeah, there's nothing I'd be looking for at this point. 2 sweeper items in the black shirt and the mage staff, white shirt, Mazimmune, temper but no fast, but Mazimmune really covers the difference there, and xIceblue's got level 25 as well. 2 ribbons, a power gauntlet, you know, again, the white shirt for Invis 2. There's nothing else you need at this point in time. You're good to go. It's time to finish this off.
Ventric pointing out how there's a hope for as few orders as possible. Water's fairly toothless this seed, though. They didn't seem like they hit that hard or have that much in the way of skills, and they're runnable, so...
Yeah, as enemies go, like, unrunnable waters can be a real strain on your resources on water floor, but when they're just unrunnable, when they're runnable, it's pretty solid stuff. Slick Fingers, one of our newer trackers and members of the community, notes that's some good equipment. Yeah, I also didn't mention the fact that the knight has an Aegis and dragon armor, so is also armed up to the teeth at this point.
Well, to clarify, one thing that the flags used in this tournament phase, and I think it's going to be also in the bracket stages, is Unrunnable Shuffle. The developers have figured out a way to swap around what formations are runnable, by and large. And so, one of those, so the Waters had their unrunnability shuffled off to something else.
Yep, and you never know what it's going to be, so it could be something legitimately dangerous, it could be a whole lot of nothing at all. You know, it could be Nightmares with Glare, it could be Lobsters with Death Touch.
So, it's definitely a situation where, yeah, you generally want to see that unrunnability shuffled off of the elementals, and it usually is, but sometimes it doesn't.
Ventric noting, imps with nothing. Imps are always 100% safe. Rest in peace, Entroper.
The tracker is correct. XIceblue has not picked up the crown yet. He presumably is going to do that after he finishes off Lich here, but people have forgotten about needing to do the crown quest.
It never happens. No one ever forgets the crown quest. Slick Fingers, yes, it's the same number of unrunnables, but sometimes they're put on rarer encounters, so you may not see them. So the idea is that they're sometimes put on different encounters. Fuzzymage and XIceblue simultaneously killing fiends with buffed up knights with mouse immunes. XIceblue, 4 orbs on the table. It's time. Temple of Fiends Revisited. He's on his way. Fuzzymage is a dash through Earth behind right now, so it's not much to give here at this point, other than XIceblue making sure not to forget to get his key.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, XIceblue is definitely skipping the crown chest Bismarck, there's no doubt. Alright, well, what do you think we've got in the Temple of Fiends Revisited? What are we gonna see?
You know what? I'm feeling a Carry 2 Gatekeeper today. We don't get to see those too often.
You don't see an awful lot of wipes to carry to. I think I was the fortunate recipient of one in my 4th round match, but you don't see it very often. The adversary asking, what would the worst unrunnable encounter be? No, the worst unrunnable encounter is Death Touch Lobsters. I don't think we really need to question that one.
Especially, though, if the encounter frequency shuffle puts them as a common encounter on water floor.
I forget which race it was that I was watching, but that happened to our runners once with the unrunnable Death Touch Lobsters, and I don't know. I think one of our runners broke.
I think I might remember that race. Can't remember if I was commentating it or just watching it, but yeah.
I mean, we've also seen people die to just stun-touch deathlocks from things like green Medusas or red Hydras.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, the bright side of the unrunnable shuffle is unrunnable encounters cannot ambush you. You can't ambush them, but they can't ambush you.
Alright, Fuzzymage is gonna run the vampire through in about 3, 2, 1, goodbye.
Rest in peace, vampire. You almost got Melmond.
And XIceblue is gonna turn the orb over here. 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 40 seconds. We are in Fiends Revisited. And the vampire chest has the vampire ship.
Yeah, I mean, you know, You gotta transport your coffin to London somehow.
Alright, xIceblue cutting down some worms, Fuzzymage getting away from the undead and continuing to finish up Earth Cave here 2 floors away. Now we'll see if Phantom is runnable. Phantom not really usually having a ton of hit points. Not only is it runnable, but Phantom says, you know what? I am literally the worst Door Guardian ever. Just walk away from me and I won't even look at you.
xIceblue demonstrating that once you're past Phantom, you can just go ahead and play the loot. You don't have to be right next to the plate.
Yep. Again, like you mentioned before, Wout, runnable seeming very friendly to start here. Fuzzymage eating a Cossatrus Blizzard here, so not ideal, but gets away from combat.
And we do have unrunnable worms with a lot of HP.
Survived a 500-point hit from the Mazamune. Not bad.
But Ice continuing to rack up the levels on his fighter and his white mage. So, or not white mage, red mage.
Yep, Fuzzymage continuing to run from the swarms of the undead, trying to dip down. Frost Dragons casting Exfer, which is not the worst thing to see here, because it doesn't do anything on its own. And we are now on floors.
Yeah, Ice is going to need a Temple of Fiends beyond rude before Fuzzy, like, to really be held back at this point.
I mean, and the level of rudeness it would take would also probably pretty heavily impair Fuzzymage as well. That's the tough thing right now. Fuzzymage, though, stepping out, has packed up Lich's life total. Lich didn't go very far. Lich 2 on xIceblue side, so about a 4 floor advantage here. Nobody respects Lich. Lich with the Ice 2 of all the spells in the game to be casting. That's the one you want to see. One swing later, and we're on to Fire Floor.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Lich 2, rarely more impressive than Lich 1. He will sometimes get that turn 1 nuke and just ruin your day.
Yeah, but Fuzzymage is only down about 2.5 minutes right now, a couple of floors. So, crazy close. xIceblue starts off with Invis 2, takes the Lit 3, but again, his team is armored up to the max against lightning damage, so they take near no damage from that. And now it's time to make the Knight strong.
Yeah, xIceblue taking no chances.
Yeah, he's got 12 temper charges, I think, total between his 2 red wizards and nothing else to use them on, so... And Fearing goes down.
Yeah, so... Kraken 2, the next major obstacle. Well, that and being counter-raid on the water floor.
Definitely the first major obstacle, usually, in Temple of Fiends Revisited. That's the first thing you really need to set up and prep for a lot of the time. Kraken 2 notable for his love of white mages, more so than any of the other fiends in the game.
Oh, is that why he keeps hugging them?
I mean, you know.
Alright, xIceblue having a pretty...
tame run at this so far, it looks like.
easy time getting through the water floor. I was waiting. I was waiting for him to get out of that fight.
Which he does successfully.
Keeping his fighter out front for Kraken 2. He's got a lot of absorb, so it's not the worst plan. But there goes one of his red wizards.
Kraken decides to pretend that the red wizard is a white mage and just dusts it instantly. You have to kind of keep the knight in front here with the armoring. He's got plenty of armor between the dragon armor and Aegis shield. Can probably survive that first hit even without any layers of evasion or armor. Oh my!
Oh no! And
Well,
xIceblue resets.
that is a definite reset. That is incredibly rude. We've got literal Kraken tonight.
Because, yeah, that ribbon is on that night, right?
Is it? Oh my, if it is.
I don't know if it is.
No, I think he went with ribbons on his red wizards to keep them alive through spell waves. Because he's like thinking Dragon Armor and Aegis Shield is enough on the knight because the Power Gauntlet's also equipped.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where Crack is Earth Elemental and the ribbon is the only item in the game that actually blocks Earth Elemental.
Yeah,
So,
Kraken just swallows the knight whole, and Fuzzymage is in the lead now.
and Fuzzymage, I'm positive, has the ribbon on his knight, because who else is he going to put it on?
The Black Wizard? Nah.
Exactly.
There's
only two. Go ahead.
Gotta protect those life charges with the first one, but the second one is definitely on the knight.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. Fuzzymage might have an easier time getting through this Kraken.
I mean, that was just a you can't see this coming type thing, but just swallowed whole by the octopus. Lightning 3 blasts down the Black Wizard, though, so there'll be no buffs for this carry fight, but probably not terribly necessary right now. And xIceblue is just charging through Earth Floor now, so reset and just dashing down in a hurry.
I believe that's what the kids call a salty runback.
Well played, Woat. Well played. Oh man. Harry goes down on Fuzzymage's side. So with only one unit dead here, it's going to bring back that Black Wizard. And here we go. Lich 2 Part 2 for xIceblue. Again, Volley of Harm, Force, and Sword Swings, and Lich 2 is banished to the Shadow Realm. Yet again. Oh boy, Fuzzymage up one floor now. Both of our runners want no part of these encounter tables, running from everything that's runnable, definitely not wasting any time, trying to get out of everything we can.
Well, it's one of those things, you're at the hour-and-a-half mark, you know how the seeds run. You know the quality of opponent you're up against. You're not going to waste any time you can afford to not waste.
Yeah, it's the 3-in-1 bracket. It is serious time. You know, Fuzzymage, we put the memes away for a run like this. It's go time.
I'm sure if he had found the Vorpal sword, he would have memed.
Well, yeah, that's a different story altogether, though. So Black Belt in front to try and take a hit for Fuzzymage. xIceblue buffing up and trying to swing down carry. Black Belt, job complete. Mission good.
Good work, Black Belt. You did what you were supposed to do.
You died horrifically in the name of saving everybody else. xIceblue, 636 damage later, cuts down carry. A floor separating these runners right now. We're gonna go down to the wire. It looks like Knight takes a swing for 300, is in dire straits right now. One more melee attack will kill that Knight. But the Knight cracks back, but it's only 240. Tornado's, interestingly enough, exactly what you want to see here.
And Lit 3 finishes the fight.
Alright, and Kraken 2 is down for Fuzzymage. But xIceblue hero running his way through the water floor. He is right there right now. Again, distance between these two, footsteps. Yeah,
but I reckon that xIceblue is going to have to do the same healing shuffle that Fuzzymage is doing after this.
Yeah, Tornado, strong melee attacks, no filler abilities on Kraken, just go into town.
Fuzzy getting a turn 1 run away and dives right into Tiamat 2.
Yep, got the spells, got the gear, got what he needs. Gonna start buffing the Knight, get a bunch of layers of invisibility up. Swing for 107, not a lot on from Kraken with the layers of Invis 2 up, so feeling all right now. Only the Red Wizard went down, so cuts down Kraken 2. On Fuzzymage, again, layers of invisibility up. It's time for Power Bonk.
Yeah, no defense sword at hand, but plenty of Invis 2 to go around.
Alright, Quad X out from Tiamat. That's not going to do a whole lot, even now. Power Bonk up, Black Shirt fired off. White shirt, again, another layer of invasion. Sorcerers getting a bunch of swings in to start that fight. And then xIceblue can turn tail. Losing time.
Yeah, unfortunately, the fighter in Red Wizard, or Knight in Red Wizard, not the best at running away. Fuzzymage still bonking up.
Yeah, so noticeable problem on xIceblue's side. That Red Wizard's not coming back.
Did he not pick up life on that Red Wizard, or did he run out of charges of whatever spell level that is?
I don't know. It's level 3. Life was locked. Life was in slot 2. He has no life spells. He's only got what survives. So Tiamat going low on a Red Wizard is incredibly dangerous for him because he's down a character for the rest of the way. Tiamat is heckin' healthy, blasting through with Fire 3. Fuzzymage, though, with the 706 crit on Tiamat, surviving it, though. Inferno comes out, that's going to burn away the Black Wizard. Goodbye, Black Wizard.
Well, Tiamat's down.
Tiamat, though, goes down to one more swing. Fuzzymage is going to bring back his party. He's going to set up shop. It's time. We're going to see a Chaos pull in a moment. xIceblue cutting through, but he's got to take the true hero push. Solo Knight going down to Chaos. Fuzzymage full party going down to Chaos as Fuzzymage tries to top off as fast as he can.
Yeah, unfortunately, without that defense sword in hand...
oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, that hurts.
Was that a glare?
That was a glare through a ribbon, through an Aegis shield, through the dragon armor. That is a brutal moment, everybody.
Yeah, you might as well go ahead and put those Fs in chat because that hurts.
Oh, that's brutal. Alright, Fuzzymage gets away from the airs. And is gonna go ahead. Have to heal up one more time. I don't think Fuzzymage knows that White Mage call might win them this race if they can just take out Chaos. Oh, he took off the ribbon. He was ribbonless there. Oh, that is a thing.
Yeah, I did not catch that, so good eye, link shot slash washed up 08.
Alright, here we go. Buffs are up. We're starting to power up this Knight. Walling the Black Wizard to make sure he can get off as many stacks of buffs as he can. Bane first from Chaos, blowing through. No fighters fall down. Good start for sure. Ribbons holding, Pro Rings holding, Tempers going up. White shirt from the Knight, or white shirt from the Black Belt. We've got Invis 2s coming out, and here comes Power Bonk. We are charging up. We can feel it coming on now. Tries to rub out the White Mage having none of that. So 2 empty turns to start. This is exactly where you want to be. That's 4 layers of damage up on that Knight now. 1 more Power Bonk, 1 out of Tempers charges, 6 layers of up power, 4 layers of evasion up. I think it's about time to see that Knight do what that Knight do. Stop comes out, bounces off the party. That's 3 empty turns from Chaos. Nothing going on so far. What an impressive start.
Yeah, at this point, I think he's got 6 layers of Invis 2 on this party. Chaos is going to be unable to do anything in terms of physical damage.
First physical out, though, 533 damage from the Knight to start. I don't think he feels like he's doing enough damage. He's going to throw out a Bane, too, because it's funny if it hits. Another layer of powering up. Fire 2 is about as blank as it gets right now. It does a total of 80 damage to the party. And here we go. We're holding A. I don't think we're praying at this point. We're just going in.
Yeah, Fuzzymage in excellent position. It would take an anomaly of RNG for him to go down at this point.
It would take a full blast zap right now to end this. 2 for 211. There's a nuke coming out. We see the second nuke, and it blows away the Black Wizard and puts the Knight down on one knee. This has gotten interesting all of a sudden. Swinging 231 crit. The Cure 4 goes off. The Knight is all we care about right now. That's all we want. If he survives, we're good. White Wizard cure 4. White Wizard will stand up through a spell. Rub bounces off. That's 2 copies of Rub. Swing for 395. Chaos goes down. Fuzzymage has won this race. I'm not in MIRC.
Yeah, I've got it. He has an official SRL time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, 5 seconds.
That is a bit of an upset. We're going to throw that one out there, but Fuzzymage, always take your White Wizard, everybody, carries the day. xIceblue getting stuck with just the Knight getting glared down. A tough break, but Fuzzymage, what a run. GG to you, GG to xIceblue, what a show.
And xIceblue has forfeited from the race.
Absolutely, absolutely wonderful race.
Yeah. Get those GGs in chat for both of these runners. That was fantastic on both of their parts.
Well, we're probably going to get both runners in here in a moment, but just that was a beautiful, beautiful race from 2 great runners.
Yeah, I think both runners are just going to take a minute to kind of stretch their legs, catch their breath, because that was an intense race.
Yeah. I think I need a moment too at this point.
But yeah, this is another fantastic example of why TOFR is the great equalizer.
It is a tough break to see. It is a tough break to see both Life and Life 2 locked out from your Red Wizards. Double Red Wizard is a solid call a lot of the time, but you know the safety's not there.
And I am seeing a Fuzzymage. xIceblue has declined to have an interview. It's understandable. That was a rather rough way to get knocked out of Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Absolutely.
Alright, Fuzzymage, GG.
Hi.
Hi, indeed.
I don't know what to say about this seed. I know I was so far behind. I just felt it the entire way through. I have no idea what happened.
What happened is xIceblue caught a crack from Kraken the first time through, and then got glared by a Nightmare on his second pass.
Oh, wow.
There was one major advantage that you had that he did not. You went for the safe lineup, so you went for white-black in your lineup, and he had double red mages. Life was completely locked out for him in both spots.
Yeah, that's why I can never do a seed without a white mage. Like, I've always said this, the red wizard is a better black mage. It does not replace a white mage.
Yeah, I'm apt to agree on that point. I will take a red over a black, but if I have to take only one mage, I'm bringing a white.
Yeah, I can't bring a red wizard over a white mage. It's, having life locked behind any type of just class restriction is too risky for me.
I mean, everybody knows my opinions on white mages, so we'll just leave it there. But other than that, I think the big thing was, so you went to do the crown chests. I guess you must have felt behind when you came up blank on those chests. What else made you feel behind in that run, though?
I made a lot of pathing mistakes. I completely botched my tracker, so I forgot where all my spells were. I was not feeling good about that seed. I mean, I saw that the birdies and ice had blizzard, so I knew they were going to be a trouble later on. I just felt like I hammered my head against ice a little bit too early. but I didn't feel good about this, and I know xIceblue is an amazing player, and I knew I wasn't giving it my all to stay on pace with him. Like I don't know how else to say it. Like I was so panicked against him, and I made mistakes.
Yeah, so I'm getting the confirmation in IRC. xIceblue did have a ribbon on when that glare hit, so that really was just garbage RNG.
Wow. That was absolutely unbelievable. Cyclone is reviewing the video for us and has stated that that the ribbon was not taken off, but the just unbelievable that glare hitting. I mean, he was on his night solo, so I don't think he was going to cut down Chaos fast enough, but he had a little bit of a lead there, maybe 15 seconds. So might have still been able to make a push at the end there. Just holding A, getting a couple bomb charges up and holding A and going for it. But, we didn't get to see that.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you still ran as good a race as you could, Fuzzy, and you came out with the win.
Sounds like I had RNGesus on my side. If he got glared through a ribbon, that's what, like a 3 in 256 chance?
I believe so.
Jeez.
I believe glare is elemental. I can't remember the element off the top of my head.
But he had Aegis and Dragon Armor too, didn't he? Would that have helped? I mean,
no.
Shouldn't that help?
No. The other thing that would have helped him, though, was his knight, I think, was at that point level 27. He did a massive Agama grind early, put a ton of levels on his knight, and started using that to charge through the game. That's where he got his advantage was from that and skipping crown chest once he had his ribbons. So he ended up not doing the crown. He did a quick crown quest without the large chest dive behind it, which of course you turned up blank on. So
yeah.
Yeah. The flip side to it though is he also ran 3-man. He named his black belt dead.
Yeah, that was mentioned in the IRC, which I felt was kind of like a little bit of spoiler, but I know a lot of people will dan a black belt in these flags just because it's. Oh, I have a question on that. Did my early Earth Cave die for that mage staff pay off at all? I had a blue mage.
I feel like that it did help you a lot to be able to pump out that fire damage in a lot of places.
Yeah, it's a play I don't think I would have made personally, but I definitely understand the call. I felt like it was kind of that I'm playing against xIceblue. I know he's a better runner. If I can catch something out of these chests, I'm going to be way, way ahead. Mage Staff is probably not what you were looking for, I would say, but I think it did help you out in ordeals, let you kill off some extra mummies as you went along. It had its uses, certainly. You needed something for your black belt to do in combat, and so that did pay a little bit at that point.
Yeah, the black belt gave you that extra action. It was an extra warm body that could actually take a hit or two. Like, overall, I think that kind of what gave you the ability to catch up when Ice had that bit of misfortune was having the ability to kind of keep your party together.
I know having him as a meat shield saved me, what was it on Slap Happy Kraken?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, took a shot for 700. Just did his job.
He just decided to die on me. But yeah, like I said, he did what he needed to.
Absolutely. That's sometimes all that you need. One hit. So how does it feel to be representing the new guard? We haven't done tournaments yet, group.
I still can't believe I won that. I mean, it sounds like RNG just really handed me that game. Because I'm still a little shocked. And you know me, I'm not normally out of words, but I'm just...
I mean, it's one of those things. I think this cements... I think Demery and I, didn't we commentate Fuzzy's first race in the first round?
I believe we did, yes.
Yeah, I think... Back then, I even made the comment, are we seeing a new Will Bloodworth? And I think that you have confirmed you are the Will Bloodworth for this iteration of the tournament.
I don't know. There's still a lot of big people I got to go through to get that title.
Well, it's one of those things. You've already gone through quite a few big people, and you're definitely someone I think getting into the bracket stage, folks are going to be wary of taking on.
Yeah, this just proves there's no easy matchups at this point in time, and seeing you in top 16 is pretty awesome. Gives me a little hope for tomorrow too, making me feel like I got a big shot.
Yeah, with these seeds and how Final Fantasy is, everyone has a chance. Like, there's the only reason I beat xIceblue today is because of glare through a ribbon, and that's you can't count on that. That's not.
I mean, life being out of reach was definitely a big thing as well.
Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, Fuzzy, you didn't get to this point by a fluke. You won this race because of RNG to an extent. Like, there was no guarantee Ice was going to be able to finish Chaos with a solo fighter, but that definitely put you in a tremendous lead going into Chaos. But, even then, you did all the right moves to put yourself in that position to win, and getting to 4-1 required you to win your races. So, you definitely have proven you deserve to be in this bracket round.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I was expecting to be playing through that play-in race and earn my way through there. Like, this was a huge shock to me.
Yeah, so I think probably that sums it up. So Demarine, you ready to kind of wrap things up?
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, first and foremost, GG Fuzzymage and GG xIceblue, thank you for giving us an amazing race to commentate. We had Henry Canuck on tracking. Thank you very much. You should throw him a follow. Wote's great. Follow him. Obviously, follow Fuzzymage because he is definitely an up-and-comer on this scene, and I'm sure that he's going to be putting in the work because he's got a round of 16 to come up and worry about in a couple of weeks, which is really exciting to see. Is our fourth runner through, guaranteed to the round of 16, other than our initial 4-0 runners, which is fantastic. Cyclone and the Speed Gaming community, of course, thank you so much. Cyclone, stop rolling seeds. Period. Thank you. But Wote, again, thank you for the opportunity to work on the microphone with me tonight. It's always a pleasure and a joy. To all our Final Fantasy fans out there, thank you very much. Next match on Speed Gaming is going to be tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. It's going to be Split Punched versus Demarine. Another 3-1 matchup, another Old Guard versus New Folk match. So please come out, give us the support and the love. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful night.
And if you're not clicking on those links in chat, go ahead and do it. You need to follow these folks because they are excellent people all around. Also, you didn't get to hear the Hangry Canuck tonight, but the Hangry Canuck has the best voice. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's going to do it for us tonight. Once again, GG Fuzzy, and thank you to the Speed Gaming family. If you guys aren't already following Speed Gaming 2, Speed Gaming 3, and Speed Gaming 4, what are you doing with your life? So that'll do it for us, and have a good evening, y'all.